Okay, we're going to do a little bit more practice now with algebra. And we have done this in our classroom, believe it or not. But in algebra in chapter 1-1, you're going to write variables and expressions. You're going to see some words and you're going to write the mathematical expression. You're not solving anything. You're not even having the equal sign because expressions do not contain the equal sign. So you're just going to write the problem out. Now be careful. Remember, Yakapaka is looking for a special format when you put that into your answer box. So let's look at some problems here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some of our vocabulary words that we really have to pay attention to down on this problems. So when you see the words more than, like you see it down here, that means you're going to be adding. Okay, now I want you to switch places. So if you read 35 more than J, you're going to write it as J plus 35. I'm doing this so that you become consistent, especially with the less than. Now when you see the word less, that's just a straight multiplication like difference or less or minus or takeaway. The tricky one is less than. Same as when we did the addition. When you see the less than, I want you to switch places. So if you see 16 less than a number n, you're going to write it as n minus 16. So let's go up here to see some expressions that we have. Right now we have 8 more than a number n. There's that more than. So we're going to switch places. We're going to use that variable n. We're adding because more than means to add, n plus 8. Product. Well, hopefully you're already saying to yourself, product means the answer to a multiplication problem. Great. We're just going to write it as 7m. Remember, a letter next to a number means multiplication. You don't have to have the time sign. So just 7m. Okay, difference. Difference, there we go again. We know that that means subtraction. Now this one says the difference of 4 and x to the third power. Well, you're not going to see this in Yakapaka, but the way we'd write this would be 4 minus the letter x to the third power. Now we have 12 less the product of 9 and w. Remember, the less is strictly a subtraction. So this one is going to be 12 less, and the product of 9 and w, that means multiplication. So it's 9w. We're done. And here comes that less than. Remember, they're going to switch places. So we're going to write this as 45 subtract 20. Please make sure you're taking these notes. Stop the video. Refer to these when you read the problems on the Akapaka. Again, you want to try to set a goal of at least 80%. I've set it up for you to do a number of times. Now, let's go and look at a word problem. You can sometimes write the expression for the word problem, but the word problems are a difficult area. We have to look for what's really important. So Sam's Donut sells bagels. Great. We want to know bagels. That looks like it might be an important word. And they charge $8.50 a dozen. Donuts are $3.99 a dozen. So now write the expression. We're not getting an answer. We're just writing it out. And look what the question says. They're going to sell B dozen bagels and D dozen donuts. Well, we're going to use B. Well, let's look at the dollar amount. The bagels cost $8.50 B for bagels. It means we're adding when we say N, selling B dozen and D dozen. So we're going to be adding, and we're going to get the price of the donuts as being $3.99. And they're telling us to use the letter D for donuts. That's all we have to do. Now, I did switch places with the numbers and the letters because typically in math, numbers come first, letters come second. If you should see something like this in today's problems or any other problems, no matter how it's written, you're going to write the number first, the letter second, the number first, the letter second. And again, when a number is next to the letter, it means you're multiplying. Let's come up with a solution just for the heck of it. What if we say B, we want 2 dozen bagels. And for D, the donuts, my personal favorite, we want 3 dozen. So now we'd write this as 8.50. I'm going to put it in parentheses because that means multiply, plus $3.99, parentheses means multiply when it's next to the number. So 2 times 850, that's $17. And to that, we're going to add 3 times 3.99, and that becomes $11.97. If I wanted the answer, I would tell you equals, and we would say $17 plus $11.97, and our bill would be $28.97. Well, now you're going to go out to Yaka Packer and you'll see some problems. Remember, make sure you're looking at your notes. You have to do them the way I was showing you on the screens. Otherwise, you're going to make some mistakes. So get out there, do a good job, and